Okay, so we're live. So Muyiwa, I'm really grateful. It's our speaker and our guest for today. We're speaking on the value-driven life. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Miracle. I thank God for this opportunity, and I thank Miracle for inviting me to share little from the little I know. All right. Like you said, my name is Muyiwa, and I'm a life coach. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a creative intelligence expert. I'm an author. What again? Yeah, I do quite a number of things. So I can't take all the time saying what I do, but I do a lot of stuff. Yes. So today I'm talking about value driven life. There are three words there: value. Number two, driven. Number three, life. That means we expect that you have a life before you talk about value. So it's by expectation. We know that you have a life, then there's value that you want to bring into that life. But we want to say that you should be driven by that particular value. Now, this is the truth. The world we are in now, the planet Earth, is driven by value. The world is driven by value. I mean, there's nothing you want to do that value is not attached. There is no transaction. There is no exchange. There is no relationship that you want to build that value is not a centerpiece. And that's the truth. So we live in a value-driven world. Let's establish that the earth is value-driven. The earth is value embracing, value enabled. So everything about the world and the earth, this planet Earth itself, is value oriented. So that means you don't have a choice as an individual than to live a value driven life. And that's what prompted the topic value driven life. So it's a life you have to live. Since we've established that it's life we are talking about, we are not talking about dogs, we are not talking about animals, we're not talking about non-living things, we are talking about life, human beings. It's paramount that we establish that you should live it. Since it's life, you have to live that life. Now, many people are living their life, but not value driven, and it's sad. And that's why in this part of the world we have poverty on this side of the world. Very sad. I mean, we complain about the poverty circle that is pertinent. That is. I don't want to use the word situated or cited or residents in this kind of community, and West Africa or the southern or the sub-Saharan Africa, sub-Saharan African countries here. But the truth is that it's because of our response to value. It's because of our nature, our life, the way we see value. That's why poverty is domiciled in this kind of environment. If you look at the advanced country, it's not really because they have more resources than we do. I mean, they don't have more resources than us. I mean, I want a video of somebody making jest of Nigeria in Dubai. One Dubai man, he was making jest of Nigeria. He said, Nigeria, they have plenty of resources. Nigeria, they have this. Nigeria, he said, but Nigeria, they don't have leaders. That's what it was just making. He said, Dubai, we don't have anything, but we have leaders. Now, what he has summarized is just leadership. It's just leadership and value. So he's trying to say that we are not value driven here as regards our leaders. Dubai, they don't have resources as it were then, but they have value. They appreciate value. They are driven by value. And that's why it's easy for them to become what they are today. And Nigeria is still what we have today because we are not value driven. How do you know we are not value driven? Invite youth to a program starting by 3 o'clock. People are not in the hall until 4:30. The value is we are not value driven. And that's the truth. I mean, Miracle, I'm sure you've done physical program before. I mean, you go to a program and you're waiting for people for over 1 hour. People are not value driven. So that it's a mindset that is really dragging us back in this part of the world. If you go to the advanced country, If you say 3, people are there because 4, there's something else that wants to take place by 4 o'clock. So you can't waste time. But because here we wait for you, we pet you and all that. So people are not valued. One day I invited somebody for a program, a training. She said, are they going to give us something? How can we train you and give you food and money for training you? It doesn't make sense. I mean, and the person asking was a graduate. A graduate asking me that, come for a training for free. Say, are we going to give you food? I mean, people, the kind of perception that we have about value is poor. So I must emphasize this part. And value is what you, the worth you give on something, the worth you place on something. That's value. So if you don't have any worth or any importance or any relevance that you place on anything, it means you don't have value for that particular thing. Or even somebody is the only thing. The word you place or the relevance or the importance you place on someone is the value you have for him. So if they said your facilitator will be here by 3 and you are not here, you don't have value for the person. That's the truth. You might say, no, sir, it's because I was washing my clothes, I was cooking. No. You didn't place value on that person. There's no other way to call it. You didn't. I used to have a mentor, and I was still a mentor to me, but we might not just be as close as that. And that's Fela Drotoye. So Fela Drotoye will tell me that, Muyiwa, I'm going to come to my house by 3:15. He said, if you come by 3:30, somebody else will be already with me, because he gave me only 20-25 minutes, and he has given somebody 3:45. So if I'm just saying that there is traffic on the mainland, to get onto the highland is difficult, that's your business. Because people, those kind of people, they are driven by value. So what I do is that I go very early before my time. So I'm there far before my time. It's because of value. I know I want to receive value. So I cannot trade anything for value. Let me quickly tell you 5 things you need to know about value. And maybe it will help you to start living that kind of life. Number 1, value is everything. You can change it. Everything is value. Value is everything. Everything is value. If you have a mindset that everything that revolves around this world is about value, then it will help you to start walking in the light of value, to start desiring, to have this value, or to create value, or to find value, or to place value on things or people. Because if you understand that everything is about value, let me give you an example. If you are looking for a wife, sincerely, it's not a wife you are looking for. You are looking for value. God, I need a man in my life. Fantastic. What you are trying to say is that I need value in my life. Because if the man comes and it doesn't come with value, that's why people say, this relationship cannot work. Have you heard that before? Or they say it's complicated. You hear the word, what's happening to your relationship? It's complicated. The problem is the problem of value. Somebody is not getting, there's a value gap. And when there's a value gap, a lot of things will take place to bring your separation. Even in a marriage, when there's value gap, the marriage might not last. It might not work. And that's what reconcilable differences, because value gap is already in that particular marriage. Now, the government is looking for value from the citizens, and the citizens are looking for value from the government. All right? Employers are looking for value from employees, and employees are looking for value from employers. So this world is just about value. So everything is value. When you go to church, what you're looking for is spiritual value. That's why you go to church. And the church expects you sometimes to come with your financial value, with your tithes and offering. It's value. So there's always value needed. There's the value, that runs things around the world. So every aspect of life you think of is value you're looking for. If you go to a amusement park to relax and have fun, it's value you're looking for. If you listen to music, it's value you're looking for. If you watch movies, it's value. Now, the kind of value you are looking for depends on the kind of person you are. So we might not have the same value we are looking out for in everything we do. But we all need the value. We all love value. Now, that's why I said everything is value, and value is everything. So you cannot live your life outside being value driven. Because if everything is about value, then what are you living for? What will be your purpose for living if there's no value attached to your purpose? So there's no purpose without value. So when you say this is my purpose in life, you are projecting a particular value, all right? And that's what you are living for, this value. That's what you're trying to say. So there is a need for a value-driven life. Number two, a value is very attractive. It's magnetic. When you have value, people come to you, people flow to you. People just want to come around you. I mean, people are just always going to Miracle. What? It's value. Because people are looking for value. The teenagers are looking for value. The youths are looking for value. The older ones are looking for value. Male and female looking for value. So if you see people around a person or around a thing, for example, I live in Jos now, but I know in Lagos, there is a place, I think in Kejas, VI, Cakes and Cream. I mean, it's cake. It's cake. They bake and sell there. But you see a lot of people there. Why? People see value in that particular cake. It's not just cake. So when you say, okay, I'll go and start my own and be baking my cake. No, it's not about that. There is a specified value attached to the recipe of that cake. And that's why people are trooping there. So when you bring out value, people naturally will migrate towards value. So when your life is value, is projecting value, people tend to want to come near you. If you are selling something that brings in value for people, people will patronize you. So stop crying and nobody's buying what I'm selling. What is the value in what you are selling? We don't just want to, because it's something to buy. Doesn't mean I have to buy it. All right, I sell bread and nobody's coming. So what is the value that attached to your bread? Because the recipe is the one that negotiates the value. All right, it's the recipe of your bread that negotiates the value that will bring people closer to patronize you. Number three, because of time, value, no value, no exchange. There can't be exchange without value. So you want money? I told people, I said, don't look for money. It's a fallacy. It's erroneous to look for money. You can't say you're looking for money. Bros, sir, what happened? Sir, I've been looking for money. You're talking rubbish. You can't look for money. There's no money anywhere. Where is money? You go and pick it up. Even in bank, you can't go and pick money up if you didn't put money there. So value is driven, exchange is powered by value. All right. So if there's nothing that you have to exchange for financial value, you cannot be rich, you cannot be wealthy. All the richest people you know on earth today, they check there's a value they're exchanging. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, they have value they are exchanging to get money. Let's even leave the richest people. Even in Nigeria, come to Nigeria. If I mention somebody very wealthy, there's a value. Even if it's a musician you mentioned, whether the value is right or wrong or spiritual or demonic, everybody just looks for value. They know that when they have value that you can relate with, you will be willing to bring exchange into fusion. You will bring exchange into full realization as long as it's the value that you want. All right. So if you don't, I'm a creative intelligence expert. People pay $600 for my course online. And one day, my younger brother in the US asked me, Muyiwa, what are you telling these people that they're able to, the people in the US, they're able to part with $600? I mean, it's value. So they are getting value. Yesterday, we had a graduation, the ninth visual graduation, and we became 100 creative intelligence certified coaches in the world. And I founded it. I'm a black person, founded that. I have facilitators from different part of the world, about 15 top professors in the US in that facilitating that class. Now it's value. It's value. So everyone is looking for value. So number 4, apart from exchange, let me say this. Number 4, that we should know about value. Everyone needs or wants value. Everyone wants value. Everybody needs value. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. Everybody you meet, the reason they will remain in a relationship with you is because they see value either potentially or existing. If there's no value existing, if there's no value potentially, the responsible people will not remain in that relationship. I've lost relationship because I noticed that maybe the person felt, is this person bringing value? So if the person is it, at some point he had to leave. There's no way you part with value when it's not possible. If you are getting value, you will sustain the relationship. So Everybody wants value. Don't forget the third one was exchange. There can't be exchange if there is no value. I want money. How can I make money? Relax. What is the value you have for the exchange? Because money is a financial value that you use in an exchange for any form of value that you desire. So there can be transactions without value. That's why you go to the market, either physical market or any kind of market, e-market, there will be value to exchange for. Miracle is with a cap now. He's wearing this, I don't know, the kind of clothes he's wearing. There was value. He didn't go and steal it. He must have paid for something. He's not the one that sold it. I don't think he sold the clothes himself or sold the cap. No. Excuse me. It was value oriented. Now, lastly, because I've said how many things. 4. Check value is everything. Exchange. What again? Can you remind me?
Everyone.
Yeah.
And then the third one is exchange. The second one is value magnetic.
Yeah.
And the first one is the kind of value everything.
Yeah. So another one is value is not cheap. Value is not cheap and it's not free. Some of us want everything free. And is it going to be free? No. If it's the real value you want, it will not always be free. If it's what you want as value, it will not always be cheap. Then lastly, as I round up, is that you can either create value or find value. Now, if you find value, you might not be as wealthy and famous and impactful and influential like people that create their value. So there's a set of people that go to find value and exchange and they make money. But there are some people, like the richest people you know on earth today, all of them have a product to their name. They created a value. That value, they exchange it and they are making so much of money. Not only money, they are making impact, they are influential because they created value. And anybody can create value. But if in case you don't have all that energy to create value, find value to exchange. That's the way to get it right. So if you are not value driven, you might not be able to fulfill all that I've mentioned about these futures of value. So you must be value driven, and that means you must learn to look for value to create, or look or find value to exchange, because that is the drive. So you ask yourself this morning, what value, or this afternoon, what value am I bringing to the table? I know most of us like to be very wealthy, we like to be very famous, yes. But the question is, what value am I bringing to the table? Are you creating a value? I mean, time will fail me to talk about how you can create value. There are steps to creating value. But let me just jump into it. How can I create value? Number 1, look inwards. There is no one living on earth now that does not have at least a value that he or she can use for exchange. No one. That's why when you say you are jobless, I laugh at you. How can you be jobless when you have value inside of you? When you say there's no unemployment, I laugh, because it's a personal decision. There's no way you will not. How can you be living and you don't have? I mean, all the people God created, if you are created in His own image, you have value. Value is inside. So bring out. I said at least. I didn't say at least one. So bring out the value in you. Number 2, you look outward now, because looking inward means there is a value within you. Looking outward at times can help you to see a value, to identify problems that you can solve. And that's going to be value, because solving problem is value. You are bringing value to the table. Then also look around. Look around means don't look at your locality. Don't look at your environment only. Look around different places in the world and see how you can introduce value there too. Solve a problem, meet a need, create satisfaction. It does. See, the problem you have is that you think because you are living in Lagos, you must make money in Lagos. It's wrong. The internet has made it easy. I'm in Jos now. I make money from all over the world. I'm in Jos. I have clients in the US, I have in Saudi Arabia, I have in Dubai, I have in Kenya, because it's value people are looking for. They are not looking for your location. Let me say that again. That can help somebody. People are not looking for where you live. They are looking for what you have to offer. As long as you have something to offer, you will not suffer. The reason why you are suffering is because there's no offering. So when you bring something to the table, there's a value you bring to the table. It's from anywhere. It doesn't matter whether you are short, you are tall, you are dark. In the coaches I've trained, there are white people there. I train them. They are professors, they are doctors. I train them. So they are not looking at my face. It's, do you have value to offer? As long as you have value to offer. I mean, they called me. There's a Sri Lanka government of Sri Lanka they were doing a program. Their chambers of commerce in Sri Lanka. They called me. They asked me that, please, can you help us get 3 facilitators that can facilitate in our young entrepreneur startup? I mean, it's a big program in Sri Lanka, live program. I facilitated, and I got 3 other facilitators from. I got 2 from the US, professors from the US. I got 1 from India. I mean, they wanted me to help them. I mean, it's value. I'm black. I mean, Nigeria doesn't have such a good name abroad, but they needed me. It's value. So they don't want to know I'm a Nigerian black. That's not is not relevant. What is relevant is, what do you have to present? What is the value you are bringing to the table? So look inward, there's value. Look outward, there's value. Look around, there's value. Look for a problem to solve. Look for a need to meet. Look for satisfaction to create. Then what you have is value. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to go straight to the question the time. So I was reading your profile. Wow, you've been through a lot, and you're a Nigerian, and Nigeria has always been difficult. It has always been difficult. It's never been easy. So the question is this: what advice would you give to young people, especially in Africa and West Africa, with the challenges we're experiencing?
All right. Like somebody said today, Tade Cash. I don't know if you know him. Tade Cash said, we are not in a difficult season. We are just in a different season. So people use the word difficult. This Tinubu's period is difficult. Petro has got, it's a different season. And if it's a different season, you will need a different insight. You will need a different mindset. The mindset you had when Jonathan was there and Petro was 190 something. Is it 190 something? Or I don't know. Yeah. You cannot have the same mindset in this period that Petro is 600 and something. So it's a different season. It's not a difficult season. It's a different mindset you need to address a different season. If you get that rightly, you will move to the next level. Things are what you think they are. Things are what you think they are. Oh, things are tough. They are tough. Things are bad. They are bad. Things are difficult. They are difficult. Things are crazy. They are crazy. So, but if you have another perception to that, oh, things are great. These are the period you need to make money. These are the period you need to just boom and blow. That's the period. It's more about you than the government. It's more about you than the situation. So don't focus on the situation as like we're taught today in church. Don't focus on the situation, because if you focus on the situation is going to be enlarged and you are going to be scared. All right. Focus on the possibilities. Focus on the solution. Focus on what you need to do right to make the situation what it should be. I can't guarantee you that things will be better. And I'm not praying that it will not be better. But I can't say, oh, don't worry, next week, Tinubu will change everything. Or next year. No, I can't. Even 4 years' time, I can't guarantee you. But what I can guarantee you is that if you change your mindset, and your mindset is reorientated to the positive perception, every other thing will follow what you have perceived. That's how it works. So you have to get this mind shift that it's not about focusing on the problem. It's about focusing on the possibilities of bringing solution to the problem so that you can have your advantage there. Because there is an advantage in every situation, whether negative or positive. What makes it advantageous is not always because it's positive or negative. What makes a situation advantageous is your person. I hope somebody can get that. What makes a situation advantageous, it's not because it's a good one or bad one. It can be terrible. It can be a stage of unemployment, poverty, stagflation, inflation rate is high. Yes, it can be as terrible as that. But what makes that situation advantageous is your person, your mindset. Because during the COVID, it was a very terrible situation. It was a terrible situation. And people made, in fact, that was the first time I made my first million during COVID. But it was disadvantageous for many people. So it was not about COVID. It was not about the situation. It was about us. Your perception, your response to situations determines the outcome. The outcome on its own does not have the capacity to determine the events or the situation on its own does not have the capacity to generate outcome. What has the capacity to generate outcome is your response. So when your response is powered by your perception. So if you have a wrong perception, it affects your response, and your response affects your outcome. So whatever outcome you are getting now, check your response. And I can't promise you that we'll have a better situation. But what I can promise you is that when your perception changes and you see positivity inside every negativity, you see light inside every darkness, the outcome will be positive. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. Okay. The last question before we let you go. You said two things. Is that you create value when you find value?
Yeah.
So in a pursuit of either of them, should there be a form of restraint? Should there be some form of this is what should be able to do, this is what I should not do? Because we're friends in West Africa here, where we have a lot of young people who they don't care about the means. So should we be mindful of the means in our pursuit of creating value, finding value, or is it just all bent about finding or creating a value?
Yeah. Now, when you are looking out for value, purpose is key, because we are living on purpose. Our life is based on our purpose in life. That's why you say we should live a purpose-driven life by requiring. Live a purpose-driven life is important, but you must be driven by purpose, and your purpose will ultimately negotiate what your values will look like. So I can determine the kind of purpose you have when I see your value. And when I see your purpose, I can suggest what your values will be. So when the purpose is not right, value too will be affected negatively. So what we should go into first is our purpose in life. Why are you on earth? If you know why you're on earth, it will affect the kind of value you will come up with. People come up with terrible values. There are musicians today, which what's his name? Zazu. Zazu is he brings in negative value. I'm not careful to say that. There are other musicians, it's not that because they are not singing gospel. There's one, I was telling my wife that there's one Two-Face song that if they are playing it on the road, if I listen, I'm a spiritual person. Now I'm like a minister in the church, and everything. When there's a Two-Face song that when I'm passing by, they are playing it, I will likely stop and listen to it until they finish before I move. I'm not joking. I like it to that extent because I got value from it. It might not be spiritual, but it's not challenging any spiritual value too. That the song is brother, something like that. You are my brother. No, it's preaching love. It's preaching let's be united, and I like it. It's value. Some people bring in negative vibes, negative energy. Like Zazu brings negative energy. Some of the things he says, the lyrics are negative. So those kind of value can affect you negatively too. What he says in his song, by the time you he said fujupa, lejupa, all those kind of things. What is fuju? That means burn your face. There's red. Your eyes is red. It pass across neck, and people buy it. That's why I say whatever value you bring, there are certain people that will patronize you, but all they are looking for is value. The value can be negative value, but for you here, we cannot patronize negative value. You must send positive, because that's what can change the world positively. Negative values will ruin this world, will jeopardize people's life. Some people have heard some songs and they've committed suicide because of what they heard, because of, but some people have heard it also, and it has brought in positive energy, positive confidence, and they are doing well. So it depends on the purpose. And when your purpose is already affected or infected by negativities, it will affect the kind of value you will bring. So I know the purpose driving Zazu, I understand it. It's definitely going to show in the kind of value. All right. And that's the truth. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm really grateful. So, you want to take a look at what meditation and we hope that one day will have you physically, yeah. Okay, so I think we can let Mr. Muyiwa go now, and I don't know if you can hear me. I think there's a problem with the network already. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to Christiana. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you guys another time. Okay.